Alasudha Kumbha Vibodha Mudra Vidyaviratkaravarijata Aparakarunya Sudambura Shimshi Sharadambam Pranatosmi Nityam Shankarupena Marchittam Pankikritamabudhyaya Kinkariya Sasamaya Shankaracharyamashaye Prahladavarado Devo Yonusamhav Paro Harihi Nisumhopashagam Nityam Tam Nisimha Gurum Bhaje Shri Satchidananda Shiva Vinavya Nisimha Bharatya Pitan Yatindran Vidya Nitin Mantra Nitin Sadatma Nishtan Bhaje Manava Shambhurupan Sadatma Dhyana Niratam Vishagebhya Paran Mukam Naumi Shastreshu Nishnadam Chandrasekhara Bharati Vivekinam Mahapragyam Dairyodaratkshamanidhim Sada Binavapurvam Tam Vidyatirtha Gurum Bhaje Bharati Karunapatram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudam Bharati Tirthamashraye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvagyam Vidushekara Bharati. Offer this talk at the lotus feet of our revered Jeshta Mahasannidhanam Jagadguru Srimad Abhinava Vidyatirtha Mahaswamigal, our revered Mahasannidhanam Jagadguru Shri Shri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamigal, and our revered Sannidhanam Jagadguru Shri Shri Vidushekara Bharati Mahaswamigal. Dear Sishyas, Astikas and devotees, happy to connect one more time through the Sringeri Guru Bandhava channel. Thanks to Sharada, Vasmati, Swami and all my well-wishers for providing yet another opportunity to speak about the glory of Shri Shri Sannidhanam as a part of the 32nd Vardhanti celebrations. Came to the Peetham in 2015 and travelled extensively, covering more than 15,000 kilometers by road and gracing and blessing thousands and thousands of devotees every day, but preserving his personal anushtanams, yoga and tapas intact, and trying to be so compassionate, extending natural selfless compassion to every single devotee he goes and stands before him, epitomizes what Dakshinamnaiva Sringeri Sharada Peetham stands for and what it has stood for 1230 years and what it will stand for forever. The attempt in this talk again would be to reach out to the youth, the young Sishyas of the Mutt and the Astikas. It's our personal request that whenever one finds time, whatever time you find, please listen to the Anugraha Bhashanams of Shri Shri Sannidhanam. Why? Acharya speaks this generation's language and thought process and imparts the values of Sanatana Dharma as it would reach the mind of a child who loves spoon feeding without even knowing that the child is spoon fed. This talk is nothing but a capture of the essence of what Shri Shri Sannidhanam delivered as an Anugraha Bhashanam for almost 2 hours on the concluding day of Jagadguru Namanam the 7-day Saptaham on Shri Shri Mahasannidhanam. The concluding day was 22nd June 2024 and Acharya gave an Anugraha Bhashanam. Every Anugraha Bhashanam is pearls of wisdom. This is yet one more such talk on the wisdom and the truth and the divinity of our dharma and its practices. But what is important in this talk, in this Anugraha Bhashanam is the way Acharya simplifies, codifies, and gives us in a sequence to ensure the basic apprehensions, the basic constraints that run in our mind as an astika or as a sishya gets resolved once and for all, so that one looks at both Shri Shri Mahasannidhanam and Shri Shri Sannidhanam as living gods. Acharya in this Anugraha Bhashanam takes us step by step. What is the first step? In fact, 2-3 weeks back, when we spoke for Gautam in one of his seminars, one of them asked from the US that Sringeri is now so crowded. Then we all come from different places, wait in the queue for a while, see and then go. Sometimes we also wish to speak more than the time that is given. And therefore, what do we do? So, this tapa, Sannidhanam fulfills it with an answer which, as Sanatani, we should absorb it rather than accept it. See, accepting is a mental exercise. It believes in rationality. Absorption is not an exercise using every time your intellectual power of reasoning. It is more to do with faith and the experience which get attached to it. Acharya therefore says, when it comes to a guru, the assumption that one who talks longer time with a guru is one who may be more benefited, one who is within the radius of a guru will be able to enjoy better results or phala in life, are all a myth. One may be living at the lotus feet of a very important religious shrine in a center, a pilgrim center of prime eminence and importance. But that person, in spite of living there and his generations living there earlier, might not even go to the temple, might not even have a darshan. Whereas somebody thousands of miles away, longing to come and see that shrine and pilgrimage, conducts a sacred pilgrimage to reach that shrine and pray to the Lord. Now, who will be a better beneficiary? So, being in the radius, speaking for a longer time, staying in the campus are all not the yardsticks to decide what your spiritual growth should be. So the first message Shri Shri Sannidhanam seeks to convey through that Anugraha Bhashanam is, be sure, because what is said now is ordained by Shastras, ordained sanctions. When it comes to a guru, the divine sight of a guru alone matters. And as a reciprocation, what should a Sishya do? Keep absorbed by meditating and looking at the lotus feet of the Acharya. The first step. The inhibitions and apprehensions which get removed. So, as a Sishya who wants to dedicate his pursuit at the lotus feet of Acharya, Acharya demands this as the first precondition. Believe that Acharya should, the divine sight of Acharya should fall on us. And our duty is to worship the sacred feet of Acharya. And see for yourself what the turn of events that happen thereafter. What Acharya uses the expression drishti of the Guru. And third, drishti, meditating at the lotus feet, seeing it. And third, if the Guru on his own utters something through their divine lips, then it becomes a Guru Vakya for that Sishya. And takes this as a second step. Acharya says there are several sutras in our granthas, in our epic, in our pantheon. So, for example, Brahma Sutra. So, Sri Sannidhanam says a sutra would be extremely compact, small, and precise. Whereas the commentaries for that sutra would run into volumes. Why is a sutra so compact, so small, and so precise? A. There is no usage of an unnecessary words or expression. B. There is no usage of any harmful words. C. There is no wastage of any expressions. D. It is not to exhibit one's poetic genius or virtuosity. The purpose is to convey an essence of life, a perspective of truth of our dharma. Therefore, it is very compact and very precise, though the commentaries run into volumes. Sri Sannidhanam therefore guides all young minds. As you keep going to Sringeri frequently, periodically, whenever you are destined and whenever you feel very desired to go, when Acharya utters some divine guidance or directions, this is the second lesson. First is allow the drishti, don't worry about anything else, and you focus on the sacred feet. The second lesson which all of us should learn is when Acharya utters, take it as your Brahma Sutra, as your sutra for your life. Hold on to it and work your life through that. Hold it as a rope. You may be in mid-air and there is a lifeline now. dropping in through this divine wisdom, pearls of wisdom, latch onto it and start working from there. Then the guru-sishya bandha gets established. He gives you a chance, he gives you an opportunity. Don't miss it. Don't be in a great hurry to go and express what you want. Wait and see what Acharya wants to give it to you, because he knows what you want, what you deserve, what you need, what you, in fact, you can actually take it. So, this is the second important step. Now, the third important step is, if these first two steps are mature in our lives, waiting, the drishti of our Guru will take care of us. And the pearls of wisdom of our Guru is something we should latch on to grow. And Acharya says the third will happen automatically. Results will start to flow into your life. You will start to see changes in your life. And Shri Sannidhanam gives the reasons why. That's very important, because you want reasons. Acharya says, in this physical world, some may be a Vedic Pandit, but may be a true Pandit by learning, but may not have imparted to children. Some may not be a Vedic Pandit at all, but may be interested to support a Vedic pursuit. Some may be blessed to learn it properly, but may not be as fortunate as many others are. So Acharya says, in our prarabdha, we may have one, we may not have something else. It's possible. Whereas there is nothing of that sort of a prarabdha in the case of an evolved, emancipated guru. Whatever a guru practices as Sanatana Dharma, that guru protects and preserves it. Whatever a guru practices as Sanatana Dharma, the guru propagates it. So, practice leads to protection, preservation, and propagation. So, Acharya does it himself. Acharya is capable of imparting it to somebody, and Acharya is capable of making that somebody as eminent as he is in the process. So Sannidhanam says, if the first two steps mature in our lives with faith, then whatever is uttered to you, remember, young Sishyas, whatever is uttered to you will start to bear fruits in your life. Because whatever Acharya utters is Satya, and whatever Acharya utters will turn into Satya, because there is a perfect sync of practice, preservation, protection, and propagation. It's all in perfect sync. So, this is the third step, which as a young Sishya, one should aspire for. Now, Acharya leads us to one more dimension in this process of a pursuit by a Sishya towards his Guru, and refers to Agni as an example. See, all of us are prone to seasonal climatic changes, especially for a person like us. We see extreme heat and extreme winter in a place like Delhi. So, when it is cold, when it's very chill, it's natural for the human body that it requires warmth. And therefore, it would prefer to be nearer to Agni, or a heat producing apparatus, or warmth producing apparatus, if you can put it in the modern. So, Sri Sannidhanam puts this question to all of us. Look here. Cold weather conditions remain the same, be it a king, be it a pandita, be it a pamara, be it a pauper or a beggar. Weather conditions remain the same. The Shubhabam of Agni, the basic character of Agni, is to emit heat or warmth. So, if a king chooses to come near it, if a pauper chooses to come near it, Agni doesn't distinguish between a king and a pauper in emitting its radiance or warmth. It emits the same warmth and same heat to both. It doesn't discriminate. He is a king, we should give him better treatment. He is a pauper, he should give. He doesn't say so. He doesn't mean so. It's a reality which all of us have accepted. So, this is a very important fourth perspective. Two things Acharya says through this message. One, Agni has the ability to emit warmth or heat. So, if you want that benefit of that heat, you should go to Agni. You may say, look here sir, no, we are not in Agni. We have several heat generating apparatus. We can draw it along with us. Wherever we want, we can pull it. You just still can't make the heat apparatus. You can draw the apparatus wherever you want, but not the ability to produce. That is independent of wherever it can come. I think we should apply that sense, that test. So, if you want warmth, you should go near Agni. You may be anybody in this world. Because Agni, the second quality of Agni is, it emits the same warmth irrespective of who the beneficiary is. A Kula Guru, a Jagat Guru, a Guru who hails in the rich divine lineage of Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada and in an unbroken lineage of Avichinna Guru Parampara is just like an Agni. It won't extend extra benefits to A and less benefits to B. It is impossible. This faith and conviction is very important for a young mind. Go to Acharya. Don't expect Acharya to come to you. And if you go to Acharya, keep going. How many times you would have gone before raising all your doubts? Keep going. Your doubts will diminish and ultimately evaporate. We are not saying push out all doubts and then go. You will never go. You go with all your doubts. That's inevitable. But keep going. Don't stop going. Keep repeated visits to Sringeri to have the darshan of Acharya, like somebody moving towards Agni to receive the warmth. So move towards your Guru to receive divine grace and see whether you are blessed with it or not. Then come and answer. Then come and tell. Then come and complain. If you are really, you won't be. The doubting mode, the complaining mode, everything will vanish from us sooner or later. Therefore, Acharya says, this was a talk, Anugraha Bhashanam rendered as a part of the Swarna Bharati celebrations, the 50th Sannyasa Shvikara of our Shishi Mahasannidhanam. So Acharya asked, put this perspective also in that Bhashana. We are now celebrating 50th year of the Sannyasa Shvikara of our Guru. Some would say, I had the benefit of having Acharya Darshan for 5 years. Some would say 20 years. Some would say, I've been blessed with the Darshanam from day one. So, irrespective of the time frame, put only one question to yourself. As your Kulaguru, have you integrated yourself? Have you moved yourself forward to have the Divya Darshanam of your Guru? Nothing else at the moment. He has already spent 50 long years of his physical life for us, selfless life for us. So, if you have not by any chance, then your time starts now. And don't miss it, because we are not assured how long and how far we would be bestowed with that one single darshanam post Chandramoulishwara Puja for a few minutes. Nobody can guarantee that. So, this should be the next thought that should flow into our mind. Are we getting the darshanam of our Guru? Have we got it? If you have got it, how do you impregnate more and more quality to it? Through whatever as Acharya taught us now. If you have not gone so far, can you now make the attempt to go and see? And wait for a day and do the morning darshanam of also Shishi Sannidhanam and then return. One trip a month if you are within 300-200 kilometers radius. For one trip once in 45-50 days if you are within 400-500 kilometers radius. You can plan as part of your life stream of bringing regularity. Initially may be slightly difficult, but this routine is something which once you get into it, he will bless you to achieve that regularity. Have no doubts about it. Absolutely no doubts about it. So this is one perspective. Now, the sixth dimension which Acharya reveals through this Anugraha Bhashanam is, see, look at the time span and look at our lifespan, and look at how much time we have actually devoted in worshipping our Guru. This is a very, very important dimension. Acharya says, let us not go to Kalpa, let us not go to Chaturyuga, let us not go to see the cycles of Chaturyuga. It's all, our heads will break if you have to calculate those years. Just let us take only Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is portrayed to be a span of 4.32 lakh years, of which the first 5,000 odd years we have crossed. So we left out with some 4.27 lakh years yet to go for this world to finally reach the stage of Mahapralaya. Now, in this span of 4.32 lakh years, there are ants, there are reptiles, there are trees, bushes, animals, and also human beings in this universe. Some are born and die the same day, within few hours. So man is expected to live up to 100 years, plus or minus is one's good or bad fortune. So Acharya says, do one maths. Assuming you have 100 years lifespan, and assuming you do good meritorious deeds, that every time you are reborn only as a human being. Imagine if you have to exhaust 4.32 lakh years of Kali Yuga, how many life cycles should you go through? Ask that question to yourself, says Acharya. Keep repeating this question in your mind, because this will give us a clarity and allow us to exercise the option of A, should we lead a material, happy, prosperous, wonderful dream life, or lead the life which it gives us as much as pleasure as possible, irrespective of the consequential pain it may ultimately inflict on us. Enjoy life. Is this that way? Or do you want to use this human life for sadhana, for your higher pursuits? There is a guru he has shown us. He has shown us a guru, what he can do to us. He is teaching us how to connect with our guru. He is saying if you have gone, how to improve its quality. If you have not gone, where to go. And says, why should you do it now? Whether you want to just enjoy life, unmindful of it, the repercussions of it, a material user and material enjoyer, or a life of a sadhana. This life gives us the ability to pursue higher goals. It gives us the opportunity which no other no other life would give us. So, the distinction between an enjoyer of a material life and a sadhaka brings about the difference and purport of a guru in one's own life. So you may say, I have so much work to do. I am clogged. I am choked. I can't think of all this. Day in and day out, the kind of issues I have to confront in life. Travel, stress, etc., etc. There is so much pain all this is understandable. and respected. But still, the point is, do you want to become a sadhaka? Because this chance is bestowed only to your human life, not to animals, not to plants, not to reptiles, not to worms. So having bestowed this opportunity in us, should we have to crack it or make a progress or not? Is a question. Acharya says, I leave it there, you should make up your mind there. So then you will start going towards it. And why do you have to go to a guru there? And gives out an episode and an example. There is a sudden rain and therefore the river gets flooded. And the torrential pour doesn't stop. So it starts to suck material acquisitions from the various houses of the village. The various things and belongings of the villagers are floating in that river, unabated. At that time, two youngsters go out and watch the river and its flow. And they find so many material belongings being taken away, swept away by the floods. And one of them spots a big box. And being a very desirous person, assumes, oh, this box possibly contains jewelry, contains cash. Some householder should have kept it in safe custody, and now it's now all coming out because of the floods. So why don't we go and pick it up? That's his desire. So the second man dissuades, no, situation is bad, it's flood time, don't venture. Man said, no, risk and reward goes together in life, so I would not mind. If I hit a jackpot, then life will be very happy thereafter. So let me make a try. So it goes. And somehow reaches the spot and clings to it as it still is moving. So this fellow on the banks starts moving towards the same direction and keeps shouting at him, having picked up the box, why don't you return? Why are you not taking the effort to come back? The fellow shouts from there, no, what I caught hold was not a box, but a bear. And in spite of my best effort to relieve myself out of it, it's not leaving me. It's holding me tight. I am now caught. So Acharya says, the two options which you have in life, the material option and the religious spiritual option. Material option is like holding a bear. We may start holding it happily for a while, thinking it is something else. Once we realize it's a bear, we will try to shirk it, try to disassociate it, but it simply just won't leave us. So our kama, our krodha, our ichcha, our jealousy, our hatred are attributes very similar to the bear bugging the guy. It won't leave us that easily. And therefore, having taken a human birth, should you not think of the option to pursue a religious or a spiritual life? And therefore, a need for a guru. And says, look here, it's not a magic or a miracle or just becoming one day abracadabra, suddenly you become an evolved soul. As you sweat hard in material life to reach certain achievements, to materialize certain success, you need to sweat and work hard as a sadhaka in your religious and spiritual pursuit, which we are destined to, which we are capable of, and which will only make the Creator happy. And allows us a teacher to guide us in that path. So therefore says, do you want to stay put for 4.32 lakh more years? And keep taking janmas after janmas after janmas. And then he guides the youths to say, look here, now you will put a question, look here, I have only 100 years and I die, and I don't know what my next janma is, and I don't know when I will be born as a human birth. Even if assuming I am born as a human birth successively, see, if I don't materialize jnana within 100 years, what will happen to me? Don't worry, says Acharya. Dear young children, don't worry. If you have passed third class in this janma, you will be promoted to the fourth class. You will start your next janma when you take a human birth only as the fourth class student. You don't have to go for a pre-KG. Wait early in the morning at the school gate to see whether the gate opens and so that your admission is secured. No chance, no way. You have passed your first 3 classes. So get ready for the fourth class. So, irrespective of where you leave your pursuit, there is an assurance by Bhagavan Shri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, you will not be let down. Those which you have achieved, which you have consolidated as a part of your sadhaka, then that what has been materialized will remain only with you. And you will be allowed to consolidate further. And through this Anugraha Bhashanam, Acharya finally tries to wrap it up with these 2 important messages. Says, when you want to be a sadhaka, you want to be a spiritually inclined person who needs to pursue the path of religious truths and faiths. Then Acharya says, look here, when you suffer from an illness, the doctor prescribes you a medicine. Don't you take the medicine, administer it in your body, irrespective of whether it is tasty, whether it is sour, sweet, whether it's spicy, chilly. Do you resort to find out its taste as you do it for your food? No. You take it so that your illness is cured. Likewise, take your food for your body only as a medicine, as much as it requires. Acharya says, as youngsters, try to bring 2 things under your control to start with. Control over your food eating habits. Eat when you are hungry and eat to the extent needed by the body. You may not be able to bring it 10 out of 10 times. Start with 1 out of 10. 9 occasions you go and do whatever you want to do. But on 1 occasion, you listen to the body and allow the body to demand food when you are hungry. And take that food which is sattvic and which will make the body feel smooth and nice rather than tasty. Then 1 will become 2, 2 will become 4, then it will multiply and you will start avoiding tamasic and rajasic foods. It will happen. Eat food like a medicine is one advice Acharya is guiding all of us. Second, when it comes to talking, be very careful. These are two important controls: control over your stomach, control over your tongue. You should speak subject to two important limitations: your capacity to speak and your status or sthana, which allows you to speak what you are entitled to speak in this material world. Free speech, all that is a different ballgame. We are talking of pursuing as a sadhaka. So, in terms of eating habits and in terms of regulating your talking habits, which will regulate your thoughts, your mind, in the process, you will become more calm, you will become more serene, you will become more refined and pure, you will become more calm, and therefore you can become more peaceful. Very important. So says your talking and your eating habits matter a lot in life. And finally he says, he quotes an interesting episode, not from the Yoga Vasishta, because Yoga Vasishta is a divine conversation between Bhagavan Sri Rama and Vasishta Mahamuni, Maharishi. But he cites this. Bhagavan Sri Rama goes to Vasishta Maharishi to learn Yoga Sutras. Yoga Vasishtam is that conversation. So he knocks the door of Vyasa's house, Vasishta's house, Vasishta Maharishi's house. So Maharishi from in the inside calls, "Who is that and who has come?" Bhagavan Sri Rama replies, "I have come." Vasishta Maharishi then asks, "Who are you?" Bhagavan Sri Rama replies, "I have come here to know only that from you, Maharishi." This should be the longing, the interest, and the approach a Sishya, an Astika, a devotee should have with our Acharyas, says Shri Sannidha. It's the 32nd Vardhanti of our Acharya, which all of us would have celebrated in our own way. Celebrations apart, we should now align ourselves more and more and yoke ourselves as much as possible into the sacred divine feet of our gurus. In fact, today morning I heard it a little later because it's a recorded speech. The kind of activities that had happened during the Swarna Bharati celebrations at Sringeri and across the branch mutts, as beautifully narrated by our administrator. It's amazing how so many things have happened in 1 year. You should see the list to believe. All this in 1 year at Sringeri and elsewhere in the various branch mutts. So ask yourself the question, how far and closer have you gone into these alignments? So much is happening in Sringeri. So much is happening in Dakshinamaya Sringeri Sharda Peetham. For us to avail, for us to turn, for us to progress, and for our gurus awaiting to reform us, and for nothing in return. Because the definition of guru says guru is a selfless tapasvi and extends compassion. That's why it's compared with Agni. Without fear, without favor, and emits the same radiance. It's up to you to go. You go to a river with 1 tumbler, you will take 1 tumbler of water. You go with a big pot, take a big tanker, you will take a tanker full of water. It's up to you. So, a great future awaits all of us, especially the younger generation. You have a long life than all of us, and please make use of it as much as possible. And let's devote ourselves, whatever little time, whatever little effort, whatever little resource. In fact, whenever it's possible, this passionate request is always made to the young minds. This is Chaturmasya period. First option, best option, you should go physically and have darshanam. If you're not able to do that, but do it at some point of time, don't miss it. Chaturmasya Kanika is very important. So, offer whatever you can, whatever you wish to, as an yearly commitment to your Guru. Don't fail to do that. But it is better you go physically and do it. That's the best. Acharya would prefer only that. But if you're not able to, then go for an optional method and do it. Good days ahead for all of you and for all of us. And let's pray as much as possible that let's yoke ourselves, surrender ourselves as much as possible, and may our acharyas envelop us. May our acharyas handhold us. May our acharya keep guiding us more and more and to greater heights of spiritual happiness and bliss. Sada Shiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Offer this humble talk at the lotus feet of our revered Jeshta Mahasannidhanam Jagadguru Srimad Abhinava Vidyatita Mahaswamigal. Our revered Mahasannidhanam Jagadguru Shri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamigal, and our revered Sannidhanam Jagadguru Shri